Okay, so now we're moving into our peer review process in Google Docs. You'll be submitting all of your work in Google Docs this semester for me and then sending me links. You'll also be sharing these links with your classmates as you do your peer review process. So today what I want to do is give you, talk about the peer review and how the rubric looks and how I'm going to be evaluating you, and then also give you the step-by-step on how to upload your drafts and your final papers into Google and how to share those with your classmates so that we can do peer review, and then of course share it with me so that I can give you guys a grade. So I'm logged into Blackboard. I'm on week 3, and you'll notice the peer review expectations Google Doc tutorial. They're all in the same document. If you click on it, it will open. Really quickly, give you the overview. The peer review process is really important because it's your opportunity to get feedback from your classmates. Now, as I mentioned before in the syllabus and then in the syllabus video, I will not be giving you feedback on your early drafts. So any feedback that you need or that you want is going to come from these peer reviews. And you have to also give your classmates, feedback, because that's the way this whole process is going to work. So take it seriously. This is going to be graded. Down here, I'll explain a little bit more about that. I do want to point out that I'm going to be evaluating you on both, that you completed an early draft, that you submitted it online, that you shared it with your classmates, but also I'm going to be evaluating you on the comments that you give other people. So you do have to comment on your classmates' drafts, and I'll be taking the 2 grades. I'll give you a grade for for both classmates that you're working with. For some of you, might have 3 students that you're working with, but what you're going to do is you're going to make comments. I'm going to look at them, and I'm going to take the 3 different batches of comments, average them together, and you're going to get a grade that way. So don't miss somebody. If you've got 2 people in your group and you only read one person's draft, then you're only going to get a 50 for that part of the grade. So you only get half those points. But I do want to say too that if your peer review partner does not actually submit any work, I'm not going to penalize you. So if you've got 2 people in your group and only one submits, then that's the grade you're going to get. You're not going to have to take any kind of penalty grade because your classmate failed to submit theirs. So down here, 10 points of the final grade comes from just submitting that early draft. And the early draft does have to be half completed. So 1 page for a 2-page assignment, 2 pages for a 4, etc. As long as it's halfway completed. I would encourage you to complete a full draft and submit it so you get the maximum amount of feedback, but it's not required. As long as you've submitted half of your draft, that's sufficient. So submitting that onto Google will give you 10 points. Sharing that early draft with 2 of your classmates in your instructor is the other 10 points. So that's incredibly important. You want to make sure that you've shared your document so that we can do the peer review and so that I can read and give you a grade. And we'll go through that in the tutorial as we get a little farther on. Now the bottom, you'll see these are for your comments that you leave your classmates, the feedback you give them. So for any strengths, for any chance, anytime that you're leaving your classmates, what's working, telling them what's really strong about their work, that's worth 40 points. And then I would of course encourage you to do that, but I would also encourage you to give your classmates some points for revision. That constructive criticism is what your classmates are really going to need, because they need to know what's working, but they also need to know what they need to do to fix whatever is not working and try to make it better so they can make their paper stronger so they submit a final draft that's as strong as it could be. So those points for revision, that's 40 points as well. So that totals out to 100, and that's how I'm going to give you guys a grade for your peer review. Okay? So down here on the same document, you've got your steps, the tutorial steps for how to use Google Docs. And this will actually take you through, we won't read through them. Instead, I'll show you. I'll walk you through it right now. But this is going to give you, screenshots so that you can see exactly what you're doing, and then all the different steps to load and files into Google and then to share them with your classmates. So let's get going here. Now if we click on, the drive.google.com website, I know it's already pulled me into my Google page, so I'm going to sign out so I can show you what it would look like. Now if we go back to this Drive page, then this is what the Google page looks like when you log in. So neither of these accounts are what I want to use. This is my personal account and my student account. So what I want to use is my CPCC account, which is what you're going to use too. So you'll click on Add Account. And then down here, you're going to use your CPCC email address, and you're going to use it in its entirety. So mine is jordanbullington@cpcc.edu. I think some of you might have at email.cpcc.edu. Whatever you've got, just make sure your full email address is listed here. And then it'll be the same password that you use for Central Piedmont. Then you click sign in. Okay. And for me, because I'm staff, I have to actually go in and enter my employee ID as well. You won't have to do that. Okay. So now we're logged into the Google Drive page, and this is what mine looks like. You can see I've already got some documents posted and shared, and they're, of course, shared to our Blackboard page. So the way that we start is click on this upload button, and we upload a file. Now, I'm assuming that most of you, and you should be, going ahead and typing your documents or your drafts and final papers in Microsoft Word, or a system like it, a different forum maybe. I think Mac users might use Pages, but whatever you've got, you're going to upload it from your computer onto Google Drive. So let's just see here. What can I upload? We'll do Excel statistics assignment. Okay, so you'll see off to the side it's uploading. As soon as it uploads, it'll post it over here. So we're going to open it. And this is what it looks like. Okay. So this is the assignment. This is the draft in its entirety, and it just posts. Now to share it with our classmates, we're going to hit this little person with a plus sign. And just to make sure, it says right now it says private only, you can access. Click change. And then down here, make sure it says specific people, because you're going to invite individually. Sometimes it might say anyone with a link or CPCC employees. Just make sure that you leave it as specific people only. And you want to save that. And then down here is where you're going to actually invite people to see the draft that you're working in. So just to give you an example, I'm going to send this to my personal email. Okay, great. And once that's there, I'm going to click Can Edit, change that to Can Comment, so that the person I've shared it with can make comments on the draft itself, which is really important. Make sure that you do that. And then, so you'll actually send this to one other person in addition. So you'll send it to 2 classmates at least, and then me as your instructor. And then you'll click Save Changes. And that's it. So what's happened now is that because I have shared this with my personal email address, an email has gone to my personal email to say, hey, this document's been shared with you. All right, so once I get that email, excuse me, let's just go ahead and see if it's pulled up. Okay, great. An item has been shared with you. So I can click on Excel Statistics, and it'll open me back up to the statistics outfit that's been shared. All right, so then we're going to click Open with Google Docs. And it'll open up in the Google Docs form so that we can make comments. So if I'm reading this for a classmate and maybe I think that Dr. Colby McKee should be bold, I'm going to highlight that, go to Insert, Comment, excuse me, and put bold name. And that's that. And once we've got the comment, you'll see that it stays highlighted, and off to the side it'll say bold name. So those comments will continue to show up. Maybe you want to put, maybe down here you think this looks too jumbled up. I mean, your comments will obviously be different because this is statistics. Yours is going to be an actual written text. Maybe you want to say this is a little jumbled up, space out, or easier read, and then comment. So that's what you'll do. You'll go through your classmates' drafts, excuse me, and highlight and leave comments with strengths and weaknesses. And that's really it. Okay? The other thing too is that to get out of all this stuff, once you've shared this with me and 2 of your classmates, you're going to take this link, we're going to copy this link, You want to go back to Blackboard. Once it's time to submit, you'll submit it in week 4. Oh, I've been logged out of the system. Let's log back in really quickly. Oh, I guess I'm not logged out. Okay, get back into our classroom page. So even though you've shared this document with myself and your classmates, you're still going to want to add it to Blackboard just in case. So week 4 is when you're going to submit it. And you'll see that draft 1, debunking assignments, are due. And you're going to hit text submission. You're going to paste it there. And so then once you're here, once you've texted it in, something's happened. We're going to go back, paste it there, and then once it's pasted, once you've got it, the link there, then you're going to hit submit down here at the bottom, and that's how you'll submit it. Okay, so it's just a really quick rundown of Google. Please let me know if you have any other questions or concerns or run into any issues, but do take the peer review process very seriously. Play around with Google between now and then. I want to make sure that everyone's on the same page and that you guys have it all squared away. And of course, let me know if you have questions.